So you mentioned being excited. We are going to talk in reverse order yet again about last season's division standings and use that as a way to talk about the team. This week, I think a lot of people saw, there was a graph that was judging good team, bad team, excited, anxious in terms of fan bases. Toronto was number one for good team, but anxious. And I'm pretty sure the Habs were somewhere in the middle of good team, bad team, but a very, very excited fan base. And I can't blame Habs fans whatsoever for being excited at this stage, because for a while, we're talking 5 years ago or so, things looked bleak. And then all of a sudden, there's the COVID Cup. And the Habs are in a Stanley Cup final against Tampa, which is fucking weird. And then immediately after that, oh my God, it's terrible again. And everything's just, the world is burning down.
Mm-hmm.
And then two magical angels descend from hockey heaven, known as Kent Hughes and Martin St. Louis. And now all of a sudden, 1993, here we come. Fans are beyond excited about this Habs team, and I can't necessarily blame the Habs fans. Like, there's certainly more towards, I think, what the vibe for Chicago fans will be this season of like, yeah, we might be bad, but the team's still going to be kind of fun to watch. And I feel like the Habs are in that similar spot where you're primarily focusing on the young talent. And in saying that, you're talking about Caulfield, Suzuki, even Alex Newhook after the trade, second year of Slavkovsky, Kirby Dach, even Harvey Pinard. And those are just the forwards who are 24 years old or younger at this stage. How, Rahil, are you feeling about Montreal this season? Because I would totally understand if you're right on board with the excitement that most people have.
You didn't mention Kirby Dach at first, and I was about to get offended a little bit. And then you eventually said him, so it was good. I'm excited. I'm very, like, don't get me wrong. We're not I don't think we're gonna make the playoffs. There's Habs fans out there who are saying that, like, they're just, they're those Habs fans, they're those hockey fans. But you talk about, Caulfield, who was injured last year, like, how many goals is he putting up if he gets a full healthy 82 game season? Like, would anyone be shocked here if he did get 50? I'd be surprised, but I don't say I'd be shocked. Is it possible for him? Absolutely. He was one of the best goals per 60, like, before he got injured last year. I'm pretty sure he was like up there with Matthews. Like,
he had 26 goals in 46 games.
That's again not 50, but that's pretty close if you're doing goals per game there. And you talk about like Kirby Dach too. I think Kirby Dach's going to be exciting, and the reason why I think he's going to be exciting is I think back to those dark days where trade deadline's over. Bergevin comes up and goes, like, first line centers, you just can't go out and get them. And Kent Hughes says, hold my beer, Bergevin, give me 5 minutes. I'm going to get you a first line center. Now, is Kirby Dach that right now? No. But the way he was playing last year, and you put him on a line with Caulfield or Slavkovsky, or even Newhook looks good so far in the preseason. Like, it's going to be exciting. And I think the most exciting part out of all of it, Tougie, is there's more to come, because you got Ryan Bacher coming. He's not going to be there this year, but soon. Lane Hutson, like, that guy looks like he is going to be a player on the back end. You start putting these pieces together. Caulfield's starting to, get better. Suzuki's getting better. They're staying healthy. Not this year, but, 2-3 years down the road, especially if this year they do bad and add another top 10 pick. I'm looking forward to, especially with Florida looking a little, we'll see how Florida does. Boston's looking a little iffy. Like, there is a bit of the changing of the guard starting to happen. Like, Buffalo's in the mix, Ottawa's in the mix now. I'm excited. It'll be a bad season, but I'm excited for a bad season.
I think the key to the Atlantic, as we're going to talk about, is there is not a single fan base here that thinks their team will not make the playoffs. As in, like, a certainty, there's no chance in hell. Like, right, we talked about the Pacific Division earlier this week. Sin and every Sharks fan pretty much knows, man, there's no fucking shot here. Yeah. We're looking for the younger talent to step up and for a high draft pick. For Habs fans, it is that scenario where if you're not as good as expected, well, hey, at least the young talent's getting the experience. But then what happens if you make the playoffs? And then all of a sudden this team takes a bigger step forward than what they were expected to. They have that young talent coming up through the system. This year they have their own first. Next year they'll have 2 first-round picks thanks to the Sean Monahan trade. They're in such a promising spot right now. And like you said, there's the young talent that's already there and still way more to come at this stage. The question, of course, is better, same, better, about the same, or worse. They can't technically finish lower than they did last year, 8th in the Atlantic, but 31 wins. You'd have to imagine it's going to be more than 68 points on the season this year.
If they get a healthy Cole Caulfield, a healthy Nick Suzuki, I'm not saying full 82 games, but at least like 70-something games. Like, do I think they're going to be 5th in the division? That's a long shot. You would need some of the other guys ahead of them to kind of tumble and stumble along their way. Do I think they'll get more than 31 wins? I think there's no doubt they get more than 31 wins this year. I think the one piece they're missing is once they get that goalie of the future, they're going to look really interesting.
You can just clone Carey Price, can't you?
I don't know. I think they're trying it, but there's some stuff going on. I don't know. I wish though. Although Devin Levi does look a lot like Carey Price. Have you seen that?
Oh, here we go.
If you look up Devin Levi,
I haven't seen this. Hold on.
I'm looking him up right now. There's one picture I've seen where he looks a lot. I'm actually gonna send it to you guys right here.
Jeez.
He looks a lot.
Oh my God! Is it the one with him holding the puck? Holy shit!
There's one of him holding the puck, and I just did one of him in the dressing room.
Hold on. I think I can. Yeah, I can have this replace my.
That literally looks like you cloned Carey Price, but had to change a couple of the features a little bit.
You leave me and my son alone. Is the vibe that I'm getting from it.
Oh
he
my
literally does.
Oh my
look
God!
Like Carey Price.
Yeah.
I'm just saying.
Bizarre.
10 years, go make some magic happen. I mean, Devin Levi, good luck, but I mean,
Good luck. There goes fucking Caulfield. I'm pretty sure Buffalo's not going to trade anybody for Devin Levi, who's basically looking like to be one of the only goalies in NHL history to make a direct jump from NCAA straight to the NHL without any time in the A.
We'll just grab Carey Price and swap them, and no one will notice. It's fine.
Yeah, honestly, Devin Levi probably will be the Sabres starter this year at this rate. At least he's a very strong option for them. But we'll talk about Buffalo in a minute. If nobody else had anything else to add about the Habs, we can move on